Africa, thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Pulem Molebatsi. You are watching Bophelong. At times when plans don't work out, it's not always clear what the next step should be in order to get to where we want to be in life. So we explore different avenues, hoping for satisfactory results. It's only when we don't quit that we taste victory. Thembi Sithole's story, it's not only proof of that, it also gives hope that anyone with a dream has the power to succeed. Let's have a look.
Here's a story of a woman who had to move mountains to get where she is today. Thembi Sithole started out washing cars in a panel beating shop. Soon, she was repairing plastic bumpers and then promoted to receptionist. But what nobody knew was that many years later, she would become boss and owner of her own body repairing business. Just a girl from KwaZulu-Natal who had always been passionate about working extra hard.
I was born in a farm in Glencoe. It's called Bophelong, and we moved in 1973. But the reason for us to move, a farmer came to my father and he looked at my sister and he asked if she can read and write. She was doing standard 2. And she brought a book, she read, and she wrote, and the farmer said, no, she's big enough to go and work in a farm. And my father said, over his dead body, and the farmer said to my father, he wants him out of the farm within 7 days. And that's when my farm spoke to the people he knows who were staying that side where we moved to, and they managed to find him a stand, a place where we are today.
Her family tried to make ends meet by trying out different things for survival.
We were struggling, but those days we didn't know that we were struggling. But when I look back now, that's when I realized that, you know what, we were really struggling. Because we used to have vegetable gardens, and that's where we were helping my grandmom to grow veggies. And after that, we go and sell those vegetables. And also we eat that vegetables. But what was nice, we eating fresh vegetables from the garden.
As young as she was, traveling between Johannesburg and KZN for temporary jobs became a norm as she had a bigger picture in mind.
During school holidays, I was always coming up to Joburg and look for temporary jobs. And I would work here. All the money I work for, I never spent not even a cent. I would go back with it, buy myself a school uniform, my stationery, and I go back to school. My bigger picture was I need to get education. Because when I look back, my father, when he moved from that farm, his vision was his kids must get a little bit of education. So when I was buying myself uniform and all that, I was like, you know, I must do what my father wished for us. For him to move there, and we were in a truck and going there. I remember that day, he moved for one reason, that he wanted his kids to have a little bit of schooling. So it didn't bother me the nice time, I must spend my money and all that. No, the only thing was, whatever I've got today, I must use it for my education.
Because of finances, after her matric, there was not much schooling she could do.
1985, I stayed at home, and that's where I was helping my grandmother. She was quite involved in the agriculture. With farming, and that is where she was doing her garden. So we're helping her with planting, and also helping the people in the area with the administration work, as my grandmother couldn't write and read. So like if they need banking to be done, I was going to town and bank the money for them and all that.
In those years, certain careers were popular, which is why most people settled for them.
I wanted to do teaching. Yeah, because after school, after my matric, I tried to do I was a private teacher for about 2 months. There's a teacher who was pregnant, so I helped in, but later I realized, nah, it's not for me. I didn't want to grow up in an area, work there, and all my life was going to be there. And I just decided, no, I just need to be out of the place where I grew up, meet people, go to places. I didn't think that panel beating I will end up doing something what I'm doing today, because I was just cleaning cars, doing plastic bumpers. And those days, I'm talking about early 80s, you know, we were at a stage where I didn't see myself owning a business, because you know in the 1980s how it was in this country.
She eventually tried out the motor industry, though she still wasn't making much money.
The first company I worked for, it's Ventura Motors. That's where I was cleaning cars, doing plastic bumper repairs. I was taking home 45 rand a week. And from there, the company was sold to the family of masters. I still work for them, but when they arrived in a business, they said, now I must do one job, because I was washing cars, do plastic bumper repairs, or helping in an office, cleaning offices. And then that's when they said, no, I'd rather become a receptionist, because I was also answering calls, helping customers when they come in while I'm wearing overall.
Sometimes in life, you have to go through each step of the ladder to get right on top and stay on top.
I know that I've been telling you what I used to do, but I suggest you come with me and see my journey, how I started, where I started, and before I formed G&T Autobahn.
Remember to share your thoughts on our stories. Like Thembi, you too can also share your stories of triumph with us. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Macro is going big on festive season savings with high-tech deals like the new PS4 1TB slim console with Call of Duty and God of War 3, only 5,999, save 700 Rand. A Samsung 55-inch smart curved UHD LED TV for 14,999, save 3,000 Rand. And save 100 Rand on the new TomTom Touch activity tracker, now only 2,399. Share in these and other big festive savings for home, for business, for life. Macro, big on life.
It was bound to be an interesting debate with Donald and Hillary, him not even having bothered to prepare. So he was flying on instinct. And it didn't come across quite well. I'm starting a hashtag, medical fees must fall. There are many students who are protesting who are not necessarily violent. The students are saying the issue is how to implement, whereas the Commission's mandate is to look at
feasibility. Yeah. Among these countries, only South Africa allows same-sex marriages. Very concerning indeed, Prof.
Your sexual orientation does not demean your own humanity, doesn't make you less of a human being. That really is the essence.
Welcome back to the show. From cleaner to business owner, Thembi Sithole's journey has its own twists and turns, with every challenge turned into a lesson and not a discouragement. Let's find out from Thembi herself how she remained dedicated to her goal through it all.
50-year-old Thembi's inspirational journey is a lesson in why it pays to persevere. This is where it all started.
I worked for industry for a very long time. I started working for Penny Shop in 1986, cleaning cars, and also I was doing plastic bumper repairs. I was promoted to be a receptionist, and while I'm a receptionist, I'm assisting in the office, all the admin work, and I enrolled myself with Demlin College, where I did my office administration.
Years later, after leaving business, Thembi crossed paths with her then boss Gavin Masters.
Gavin came to me. He said he wanted to start a business, and we sat together and I thought about it. I said, yes, I think it's a right idea. But what made me make that decision is while I was working for the other company I was working for, a lot of people, they had a lot of comments and they were asking me if are you one of the owners, and I kept on saying no. And then when I'm sitting on my own, I said, what they see, why people they keep on asking if are you one of the owners? And then I just realized that maybe they see a owner figure in me.
She was a repair lady on the bumper side, and she was so well spoken that we decided to bring her into the admin side. And she did so well there, and also helped with the quotation side, transfer it. In those days it was onto a manual system. Getting prices for on parts from the dealerships, and we found that she really took off and she really enjoyed it.
With no startup capital to speak of, knocking on every door for funds seemed like a fruitless journey.
On my side, I didn't have money to start. And that's when I said to Gavin, I know you want me to start a business with you, but do you understand that I used to work for you and I've got no money? And he said, yes, he understands. And I went to my bank, took my personal loan. It wasn't much, but it's just to put deposit on the premises because we had to put deposit of 30,000 before we moved in.
When she started seeing the small light at the end of the tunnel, things became completely dim again. After we opened doors here at the beginning of Feb, Gavin, he was expecting to get money from the other side, and that business was liquidated. We had no choice to make a plan because there is a lease agreement for 3 years already been signed. And being a perseverer that she is, she never gave up.
I just went straight to the offices of NIPCO, that's where my Provident Fund was, and asked for application forms to withdraw my Provident Fund. And yeah, that's what helped. It wasn't much money, but it did boost the business a little bit.
A breakthrough then took place. A friend introduced her to the right channels.
He said I must log on a website and look for a DTI and I'll get help. I did look, I found a contact number, made a phone call. There was a response. Application forms were sent and I submitted the application. I was successful and they managed to purchase equipment for us. And then after that, we went to SAMRA, got graded.
G&T Auto, named after Gavin and Thembi, is now a fully functional business in Randburg, Johannesburg.
We do panel beating, spray painting, chassis straightening, minor mechanicals, And we do restorations. We all the old cars, make them look nice again. And we have got 15 staff working for us. I've appointed another person who's starting next month. So there'll be 16 people working for us.
Getting the company name known and respected took time, but now it has loyal customers.
In this area, we've got about, if I'm not mistaken, more than 10 panel beaters. So when we moved here, it was much more. And I think about 5 panel shops, they closed down since 2010. We always get repeat customers and also referrals from other customers who repaired their cars. It's because we're giving a good service, good quality.
Being in a male-dominated industry has its discrimination, but Thembi is still not discouraged.
When we do get a phone call and they're speaking to Thembi and they say no, they want to speak to a man, he said, no, I can help you. And they're actually quite flabbergasted to the knowledge what she knows on the vehicle. So what we found is that they are taken back on the knowledge that she's able to put through to the clients and put them at ease, that she knows what she's talking about.
Sometimes I get people who, when they phone, they want to speak to Mr. because, they know the industry, it's a male-dominated. But I can see things are changing a lot.
She understands vehicles. She understands, this is the quality that's required of panel beating. And she's very enthusiastic on vehicles. It's been her love, her passion has been vehicles.
She says having Gavin as a partner has worked out well for her.
We are a very good combination because he's not just white, but he's got an experience because he's also started in the industry in 1989. So we understand this industry and we speak the same language.
She's able to, focus more on the administrative side, which helps a lot and alleviates myself from checking on the workshop. So we've got big pros and cons in it, that really help to get where we are, and she's an all-rounder, and what's great, she can do everything in the business.
Staying in this industry and making a mark while in it is all she is focused on.
To know the industry and understand the industry and to start GNT, it's because it's the only industry I know.
Thembi continuously preaches the message of focus and how one should always be prepared to move mountains for their dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem.
If you're hiding and you're dodging, you don't work, you don't give your whole effort, you're not gonna go to the next level. So whatever you do it with your whole heart and give the whole effort, and God will do the rest.
And with those words of wisdom, we take a breather. When we come back from the commercial break, we'll look at how Thembi's successes have motivated others to aim higher on their dreams. Stay with SABC News.
There may be associated problem with the arteries of the heart in patients with hypertensive heart disease, and in some instances it's just pure the muscle disease problem. The statistics show us that half the population of individuals with high blood pressure are not even aware that they've got high blood pressure.
There's the amount of salt we eat, because there's a big influence on our blood pressure levels. So using less salt when you're cooking, less salty spices when you're cooking, not adding salt at the table, but rather using other spices and herbs to flavor your food. And then, of course, how much sugar you eat is also very important.
If you start becoming uncomfortable, or where you feel that your effort tolerance is becoming less, you can't lie flat, you run short of breath, you start swelling in the legs and so on, it's high time that one should consult a doctor.
Join Health Talk every Saturday for all your health news.
Welcome back to the show right here on SABC News. Let's head over to G&T Auto, where Thembi Sithole is building her own empire. She continues to be a living example that it doesn't cost a thing to dream and believe in that dream.
G&T Auto has created jobs. It may not be many people, but the few still count and they are able to provide for their families.
When I look at it, there's a lot of contribution coming from G&T Auto Body. Employing 15 people, they're looking after their families. And that is giving the education for their children.
Her workers say they're inspired by Thembi's story.
Mina since ngafika la ngitangitshela ngestory sakhe wena ngiqale kanjani mawufuna ukuphumelela yabo mina mangifika la bengiwasha imoto angitshela ukuthi kumele ngiphushe angithili zoba i-panel beat or assembly or something manje ngikhuluma manje sengi-assistance ye-panel beat
hayi boss right since ngaqala ukusebenza naye nge-2011 mangifika lapha ngi-assistant panel beat ngasebenza naye angenzela amaplan ukuthi ngiqualify manje ngi-A-card qualify i-panel beat manje.
It wasn't just her passion alone that brought her this far. The Sanlam Enterprise program also played a huge role in molding Thembi to be the businesswoman she now is today.
That has brought a light in my life, the life of the business, to be honest with you, because I was selected by Sanlam. They've got a program which is enterprise development. When they selected me, first people when they came here was like, what they doing here? We know what we're doing, you know. But I said, let's give them a chance. They did their diagnostic check on the business. And that's where they find where the business is lacking, where we need an assistant. Reason why, from school, I went and work. From work, I'm starting the business. I've never went to a business college or school or something like that. I knew how to do paperwork and, work, but how to run a business, I had no idea.
When asked if she sees herself in any other industry, she responds with a positive answer.
I don't see myself out of the motor industry because that is all I know. And I've tried and to see where else I can go, what I can do. But I still see myself in the motor industry, even if I do something different, not panel beating, but it's still gonna be related to cars.
And accolades make her even more confident to remain in this motoring industry.
All those certificates and accreditations, to me, it means that G&T is doing very well. And I'm so proud of myself. And I'm so proud of also the staff support I'm getting from my staff, because I wasn't gonna achieve what we've achieved without our staff.
Her friend of more than 25 years is also encouraged by Thembi's story.
It made me feel great, especially knowing somebody that you know where she's coming from. We has the background yakhe ukuthi ime kanjani, and then she's that kind of a person ukuthi makafuna into. She doesn't hesitate. She's a go-getter. She will try all her best ukuthi uyayithola.
She was ready to go the extra mile. It wasn't just just do what you've asked her to do, and she will always do that much extra without you really requesting it. And that's what I saw in her, that she is a lady who really wants to get out there and get something special, in the sense of she wants more out of life.
Anga change, anga khohlwe ukuthi where she's coming from. She must keep it up the way anga khona, and always invite uNkulunkulu empilweni yakhe. All will be possible.
Thembi surely has bigger dreams for the company.
I see ourselves here growing strength to strength, and maybe in 2 years' time, the business will be moved to another premises which is bigger than this. And I might, when time goes on, open branches at another province.
And these are encouraging words for everyone who wants to start something but is afraid to.
Conquer the fear, because that's the biggest problem we have, to take another step. And also they must network, try and connect with the right people. And also, I know when you're starting something, you get, or you're talking to somebody about, I want to start something, you get negative people who's gonna come with negative ideas, and you find a person hold back what they've got. They mustn't associate themselves with negative people. Try to find people who's got a drive and with a positive attitude.
With an annual turnover of more than 6.5 million, this is indeed a success story and a lesson in perseverance.
And that is why Bophelong puts a spotlight on people such as Thembi. All it takes sometimes is self-belief and hard work. Add commitment to that, who knows where you could end up. Well, as for me, I will be back here next week to continue sharing the good stories of our continent. Have yourself a good weekend. Goodbye.